Your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King, doing her best to run her show by herself so that my Sekou Rights can recover from his show, rest and relax. It's the Fee King Show. It's going down. It's going down right now. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, God willing. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. The Fee King Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest. I am your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King. The Fee King Show is all about who are you? What do you do? What's your why? How in the world are you keeping this thing all together? I.e., what is your self-care modality? Today we're talking about gifts, so this is so appropriate. Let me get into this thing. Who am I? I am a woman, a sister, an auntie, a cousin, a favorite cousin to my cousin Rosetta Bonner from Omaha, Nebraska. Rest in peace, Rosetta Bonner. I am a daughter. I'm a cousin. I'm a niece. I am a pet parent. I am also a fiance. What do? I help women over the age of 40 specifically, yet not exclusively, get unstuck en route from where they are to where they want to be in their fitness and finances. Why? Because I love myself so much today that it only makes sense to love my sisters exactly where they are. How am I keeping this thing all together? I.e., what is my self care modality? Hands down, exercise, running, reading, mindfulness, meditation, transcendental meditation, prayer. I am in a perpetual state of fellowshipping and convening with God all day long. Thank you for being here, tuning into the Fee King Show. This is an interactive show, which means I want to get to know you while you get to know me. So let's check in and chat. What are your gifts? What are your gifts? What are your gifts? I have met numerous thousands, right? Thousands of people during my lifetime. The demographic or maybe it's the industry. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. The industry that comes to mind when I think about gifts are attorneys. Oftentimes, when I've encountered attorneys, and let me know if you are not one of these attorneys, people in the legal profession, they think, yeah, I'm not an artist. Yeah, I don't have any extraordinary talents or gifts. I'm an attorney. I'm a lawyer, and I'm thinking, no, no, and yes, you are an attorney. You are a lawyer, but yes, you have talents. Yes, you have gifts, especially if you're like one of those bomb litigators, or if you're anything like this guy. We watched a movie a couple weeks ago called Burial. Burial, starring Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones. Woo! This attorney that Jamie Lee Foxx portrayed, this man was so tuned in and tapped in and turned on by his own gifts. He was so connected to his gifts, and his gift was the gift of gab. And with the gift of gab, he was able to litigate and get people not just get people what they wanted, which was some justice, but he got them far more money than they ever even thought imaginable because he was confident and he had the gift of gab. What are your talents? What are you tuned into and turned on by? What are your talents and your gifts? And are you sharing them? Or are you selfish? Are you just keeping your talents and your gifts to yourself and not being a blessing to others with yours? Come on now. Please tell me you're not out here in these streets doing that. Yesterday, Sekou Rights and I got the opportunity to travel by bus an hour from New York City to, I don't know if it's called upstate New York. So I'm just going to say Suffern County or Suffern, New York. Upstate. Yes, Sekou said upstate. Thinking it's upstate. So let me tell you, there is nothing better. There's nothing better than getting to experience New York by foot, by bus, by train. By foot, by bus, by train. I don't want to experience. Let me only focus on what I want. I want to continue to experience the world, specifically New York City, by bus, by train, by foot. When I say foot, I mean running through this city. I don't think we're live. I think we're now live on Instagram, which is all good. What's up, Instagram? Thank you for being here with the Fee King Show. As we travel from the city into upstate New York, Suffern, which is such a cute little, I don't know if it's a little town, but it felt like a little town because Sekou Wrights, my fiance, got the opportunity to deliver a sermon. I had been asking Sekou all week, do you need help? Do you want me to listen to it? Do you want some support? Like, I'm doing all the things so I can get just an inkling of what he's going to talk about. He was given a subject, which oftentimes when you are hired as a speaker, whether you are hired as a speaker to do some speaking and training, or if it's for, let's say, a nonprofit, college, school, an organization, they typically give you like a guideline. You know, we want you to talk about this thing. His topic was respect and money. I was like, ooh, better you than me. I was thinking, oh my goodness, how's he going to put that together? I'm asking all week, are you sure? So literally the night before, he was really tired. He had been rehearsing, and I said, well, maybe this is an opportunity for me to catch him slipping. He was like, no fee. And I was like, okay. We show up. Now let me give you a little backstory, because I don't want to assume that just because you're watching the Fee King, you're experiencing the Fee King show today that you've been experiencing me before. I don't know if you're new. I don't know if you've watched 2 minutes versus 30 minutes. I'm not for sure. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. Sekou Wrights suffered from a stroke July 14th, 2022. July 14th, 2022. It was a big stroke. It's called a hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding on the brain. The day that he experienced this stroke, he had been running for 409 consecutive days. Y'all, that just means nonstop. Not a day off, not 409 days straight in a row. He suffered from amnesia, short-term paralysis. Like, these are things that he doesn't talk about a lot, in my opinion, nearly enough on his show. He suffered from amnesia, short-term paralysis. They were encouraging him to be in a wheelchair, or at minimum use a cane or some sort of walking device. He refused. He was clear that this is not going to be my life. This is not going to be my life. Today, he talked about on his show that he became clear yesterday while delivering his sermon what he wanted to do. I got to remind him that you've been really clear for a long time. Prior to his stroke, Sekou Wrights was a speaker, an inspirational speaker, journalist, author. And so because of his symptoms related to the stroke, aphasia is another one that I didn't mention. Aphasia is when you have, it's a byproduct of a stroke, and sometimes of dementia. So it's not just relegated to a stroke. What happens is it affects your speech, your ability to communicate. It also affects your long and short-term memory. So those are challenging for a speaker, like it would be challenging for a singer. If you sing, that's your voice, that's your instrument, that's your tool, that's your gift. And so when your gift seems to be compromised, you think maybe I get to pivot. I'm down for a good pivot. And so while he gets to pivot, yes, he gets to pivot in the sense of he gets to pivot into a different subject matter. Yesterday, he's on stage behind the podium at church, which is Rhino Comedy Club in Suffern. I'm nervous. I was so happy. I was so grateful that I got to insert myself into the role of videographer, because that's what I love doing. I love capturing the moments. That is my thing. That has always been my thing. And I said, we had a stationary, nowadays we call these cameras. It's not a camera. It's a cell phone with a camera component. It was stationary, so it got the wide shot. I said, I want to capture all the angles. And while I'm capturing, I'm doing everything I can as he gets into his speech, because I am I am shocked. I am blown away. But I have to hold it in because I'm recording. I don't want the device to capture my emotions, my responses. And I'm reading the room, and people are hanging on to his every word, because money is one of those things that's still taboo. We don't talk about it like politics. Politics, religion, money. Politics, religion, money. But money, I think, it has this stigma attached to it. If you have a lot of it, then you're looked a certain way. If you don't have any, you're judged. You're made to feel bad about it. If you don't know how it works, which is the majority of people, because only what 2% of the population in the United States of America are wealthy. 2%. So that means the 98% of us are just kind of flailing, don't really know how it works, and maybe feeling self-conscious about how to ask. And we're not even asking. And what I learned yesterday, what was confirmed to me yesterday, is that Sekou is so tuned on and turned on by his gift. Now, he has many gifts, like many of us have many gifts, but it goes for not if you're not sharing your gifts, if you're not using your gifts to be an impact in someone else's life, whether it's on a small scale or a large scale or a massive, epic Kiki Palmer, Oprah Winfrey, Ava DuVernay scale, Arlen Hamilton scale, Sekou Wright's scale, Fee King's scale. You better edify yourself. You better tap in and get tuned in and turned on by your own gifts. And when we left that church, first of all, it was an almost 10-hour day. We were on a respect money, how it works, and how it is uber important for me to use my gift in this way to teach people the importance of respecting their money kind of way. That is the high that we were on. And I am so happy and grateful that Sekou received that confirmation. I'm also happy and grateful that I got to experience it, and that I've gotten to shift in my being open to learning how money works and being excited about it. There was a time, and I have a one-woman show where there's a line in the play where I say, math is not my strongest. Yes, math is not my strongest subject. Math does not need to be my strongest subject. I and you and we do not need to know anything about math in order to learn the value of respecting ourselves and respecting money, respecting yourself and respecting the money that you earn, the money that you attract, the money that you grow, the money that you invest, the money that you have. There's a level of respect that once you get that respect for that money, then you treat it in a different way. You don't just get it and spend it. You don't just earn it and spend it. You don't just attract it and spend it and give it away. You now learn that, oh my goodness, you mean I within me have the power to grow this thing? So does that mean that money grows on trees? Oh, what? Does that mean that money grows on trees if I have the power within me to grow my money? Part of that, or I think a big part, yes, a big part of that is growing in your mindset, being simply open to the idea of I actually am in control of my money. I don't work for my money. My money actually works for me. I said, man, this is so beautiful, because he's so clear about his gift. He's so clear about one of his many gifts. What he's doing is really focusing on this, though, because oftentimes we have many gifts. I'll give you an example. This is one that really resonated with me, because like Sekou, and I'm sure like you, many of you, you have many gifts and talents and you like to do many things. Jamie Foxx has many gifts and talents, and he likes to do many things, right? Lino says, we thank God for healing. Amen, Lino. Yes, we do. Thank you. Jamie Foxx started his career out as a comedian. Like, who knew Jamie Foxx could sing? Who knew that Jamie Foxx had a breadth of acting skills in him, taking him from the Ray Charles story to action films to being doing comedic roles in films to this new one. I was just like, and Jamie Foxx. Well, we don't know. We don't know if Jamie Foxx had a stroke, but numerous actors, celebrities, everyday people have had like a real life occurrence happen, and yet they get to pivot in their gifts. I am so over the moon. I am blown away by this new role that Jamie Foxx is in. And I thought it was an older movie, and then I realized no, because Tommy Lee Jones is substantially older. This is new. And so I looked at the credits. They did this film 2 years ago, 2022. So watch it, and it'll also give you some insight on the funeral home industry. Like, I'm blown away. And so if we're not using our talents, and you can have many talents, I think it behooves you to hone in on one or two so that you don't spread yourself so thin, which again, I applaud Sekou for getting that clarity. Like, you could tell on stage, it was the look in his eye where he got it for himself. And then one of the practitioners, after he took his seat, she said, I'm going to talk with the senior minister, which is Rev Melissa, about how we can have Sekou teach a class for us, the congregation and the practitioners. I was like, absolutely. And then I whispered to Sekou, I think this needs to be a part of their normal curriculum. Like, you are their guy. And so you teach this class, it's live, meaning it's live for them. They show up, and then you do a Zoom version or some sort of streaming version for everyone else. And then the webinar lives on Rockland CSL's website. So I need you all out there to put that out into the universe. Just confirm that whatever is for Rockland CSL's highest good, whatever's for Sekou Wright's highest good, that becomes a reality. Are you using your talents and your gifts to impact, to inspire, to potentially help someone else transform their life? Like, are you using your talents and your gifts, or are you just keeping them to yourself? Like, how selfish is that? It's selfish. I cannot imagine Jamie Foxx not sharing his talent and his gift. I cannot imagine Oprah Winfrey. I cannot imagine Gandhi not sharing his talents and his gifts. Dr. Martin Luther King, what had the power and the talent and the gift to preach a word and to corral a people and to move a people. That is talented. That is a gift. Are you using your talents and your gifts? Woo! I got chill bumps. All right, let's get into some hat game. Speaking of talents and gifts, go ahead. I just want you to take a screenshot of these little puppies here. There is a sister that I met years ago. We were part of a goddess gathering, which was a coming together of women. It wasn't just Black women. It was women who knew themselves to be goddesses. Most of us were talents, whether we were actors, writers, singers. The young lady who orchestrated this gathering was a model. I met this woman who was a singer. Beautiful. I mean, she was more than a singer. Like, she was a songstress. She sang these beautiful ballads. She had a band behind her. That's how I knew her. As time has gone on, we reconnected on social media. I saw that she made earrings. And so I just thought, wow, okay. I knew her as a singer. See that pivot, and see how she has more than one talent, more than one gift to share. Reached out, Long story short, I mentioned to her, if your business ever gets to the point where you have ambassadors, I want to be an ambassador. I want to promote your jewelry because I love what I'm just seeing. I had not even owned a pair of earrings or a hat or a clutch. I just saw. So that took about a year and a half to culminate. Here we are today. The name of her company is, let me just pull that up. The name of her company is Her Glow Candy Shop. Yesterday, while on the train, yesterday, while at lunch, yesterday, when we got back to the city, I went to two small stores. Within those two small stores, four people, two men, two women, two men, two women, kind of got into my space. Oh my goodness. Oh my, I love those earrings. I'm just like, oh, thank you. And sometimes I forget, like I forget what I'm wearing. But this woman had the courage to share her gift. If you love a good statement piece, if you love a good conversation starter, then you will love, like me, you will love Her Glow Candy Shop. I love Her Glow Candy Shop. I love the fact that she recognized her gift and her talent. And she said, you know what? I could just make earrings for myself. You know, I could get all the attention, all the applause and praise. She makes these beautiful, long feather earrings. Like they come all the way down here. And so her earrings are unique. They're interesting. They're different. Her Glow Candy Shop. It's on the bottom of the screen. She also sponsors the Fee King Show. Thank you so much for lacing me with such beautiful earrings. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you also, Free Your Soul Publishing, Bobby Tamir, for hooking me up with dope edits and beats. He is the guy. He's an indie producer out of St. Thomas. He's from the States. He does his thing. Thank you so much, Free Your Soul Publishing. Thank you, Sekou Wright, for speaking a good word. Thank you, Sekou Wright, for having a talk show where you talk about money, where you educate, you empower, you equip, you inspire just because you show up. You inspire just because you show up and do the work. As a man recovering from a stroke, you could have easily just, woe is me, wallow in the reality of what you were experiencing, which is still traumatic. It's not like, he's out of the woods. He gets to continue to do this work. Thank you, Sekou Wright, for saying yes to sponsoring the There Are Black People arm of the Fee King Show, where we spotlight Black-owned businesses in Omaha, Nebraska. Sekou Wright is my sponsor for that show on or in the There Are Black People in Omaha group. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Fee King. Thank you, Fee King, for not giving up on one of your gifts. One of, sorry, am I speaking in third person? Thank you, Fee King. Thank you, Self, for not giving up on one of my gifts, one of my talents, which is to help women get from where they are to where it is they want to be, to help women specifically, but not exclusively, over the age of 40 to get healthy, to get fit, to get moving, to hold themselves accountable to their own life. And I know that this works because it's worked for me. I know that what I do works because it's worked for hundreds of other women. And even if it's not me, I know that I had an interview last week for a Goldman Sachs business incubator. It's a whole program. It's a whole thing. It's 3 months. It's intense. And I really want this to happen. I had an interview. One of the things that the woman asked me, she said, I'm not really clear about how fitness and finance goes together. And I took a beat because I was thinking, really? Huh, okay. Well, Fee King, this is your moment. This is your opportunity to be able to break that down really clear and succinctly. It was almost like an elevator pitch. I said, well, You can have all the money in the world. And if you're not healthy, you're not able to A, enjoy it, to B, spend it and enjoy it. C, ABC, I said C, you're not even able to reach your fullest potential in attracting money, making money, investing money, growing money from a place of illness. I said, it's not until you're healthy that you can become a well-rounded, wealthy person. I said, there are so many people in the world who would give all of their money. Listen to me, they would give all of their money to have their health. And sometimes we equate being sick to not being fit and healthy. Like, you don't go from sick to, how do I want to say this? It starts with being fit and not being sick. It starts with being fit. It starts with being healthy. It starts with being simply aware and knowing that, you know what, it has not been easy for me to get this 5, 10, 30 pounds off, but it's possible. And how do we know that it's possible? Because other people have done it. We've seen, we know the people, we've seen the people in real life or on social media. And no, just because they did it doesn't mean that you can do it. Let me say that again, slower. No, just because you've seen someone else lose weight, get their A1C down, get their high bad cholesterol numbers down, get their high blood pressure down. Just because you've seen them do that does not mean you can, unless you're willing to do the work. It just requires a little work. And we've come into this world doing work, so let us not be afraid of doing some work. I am so grateful, again, that I have not given up on one of my passions. One of the things that lights me up when I get an email or a text or when I'm consulting with a client and they say to me, Fee, you were right, like it works. It's like, I don't need to be right. You just need to be right. You need to have the experience within yourself to see and to know that, yes, it works. Small changes. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. You get to make small incremental shifts in your life in order for you to get you from where you are in your health and your wellness and your finances to where you want to be. You can start. What? You can start tomorrow. You can start tomorrow. Tomorrow is my second of the summer. It's my part 2, 7-day abs ass lift no mo fupa challenge. Starts Tuesday, June 18th. I started this campaign at $2.99. So every time someone purchases the fitness challenge, it goes up by $1.99. So tomorrow, the end of tomorrow, that price goes back to the original price, which is $77.99, which is still a great price. It's only $10 a day. So I lovingly invite you. And if this is not your season of health and wellness and transformation, if you know of a woman who you think that this might be her season, please share it with her because the price point is unbeatable. The women who have just ended my current fitness challenge, I'll share some things. It has been such an incredible journey. And I am so grateful and honored that they said yes and that they allowed me to be but a small part of their success. This is the Fee King Show. I am your hostess with the mostest, Fee King. The show goes down every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, God willing, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. Fridays are me and Too Tight Tonya Jones. It is our travel segment, On the Road Again, where we share our travel adventures, our travel stories, and where we help you see that you too can get yourself on the road, travel, have an experience, open yourself up to the possibilities. That goes down on Fridays. I bid you love, light, peace, prosperity, possibility, positivity, not just for today, not just for the rest of this week or the rest of 2023, but for your entire life condition. We're out. Peace.